I just want to let you know these guys are going to be huge. I'm talking major label huge. These guys are going to be big. You're going to love them.
I'm going to be putting lotion on like a million times because my hands are so dry and they just don't.
Mine too, because I wash them so thoroughly because I'm so scared.
Like 20 million times a day.
Yeah. Okay, we're ready.
Alright. You can go ahead and tell your story if you want to.
Oh, should I?
Well, now it's like not even. It's really not funny. But when I was, it's random. I just have to get it out.
Sure.
When I was awake this morning at like 5, because like my body naturally wakes me up at 5 now, I guess, because that's what time I get up on weekdays. So I got up and I had to go to the bathroom, and I was like sweating, like I was telling you, because my period is so bad. So I got up and I had to do my whole Carson, my whole period routine.
You have
takes
to.
A while.
It takes a minute.
I had to change some things out and go back to bed.
Correct.
And I was like sweating and I couldn't get comfy because I was too warm. And yeah, so, but for some reason it was like driving me absolutely crazy that I couldn't remember the front desk girl at the gym's name. I don't know why, because I see her every single day and I like to say hi to her. She's awesome. She's really nice. And I was like, something reminded me, or I was like, I guess I was thinking about her this morning at 5 a.m. I was like, what's her name? And it was driving me crazy. I was like, I think it's Lacey. I think it's Lizzie. I think it's Lisa. And I was going through all these L names. And I was like, I know it's it's a really basic L name. Turns out it's Lexi, but it was driving me, which is like, of course, everyone's named Lexi, but it was like...
Everyone I know, at least.
It's one of those popular names. And I was like, why can I not remember her name? And I was up for like a half an hour going through all the list of names I could think of while I was trying not to sweat anymore and go back to sleep.
Oh, and it's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, and then I woke Winnie up too, and she was like hacking, and Anthony turned over really hard. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to go back to sleep. And I did. But it was just... good times.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel that. Last night, I could not sleep at all.
Well,
yeah, no shit.
Are you supposed to sleep?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess now you're supposed to.
Yeah. But,
Oh, why couldn't you sleep?
well, I have a theory. I think it's because I hit my head. But,
Should I introduce us really quick?
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to episode 2 of the podcast. We're happy that you're listening and are here with more stories that pique our interest. We are 2 sisters and 1 brother, sharing our interests with one another. I'm Emma.
Oh, wait, who goes next?
You got it.
Whoever.
I'm Mackenzie.
I'm Carson.
And we're going to start off by chatting about what we've been listening to this week and how our weeks were. We haven't sat down together since the last episode, so we'll definitely need a few minutes to catch up as we've been doing. So, Carson, finish your story.
Okay. So, last night I couldn't sleep. Yeah, gosh. I think I couldn't get comfortable, and this isn't much of a story, but...
Well, your brain was rattling in your head?
Your topic, because this
Okay.
is, I'm dying to know.
Okay, yeah. I'll just go into my topic.
Start from
That
the
I don't
beginning.
I don't have a topic. I was going to do my research today. But then last night I went skiing and it was very fun. Went up at around 4, skied until 9:15. It was very nice. Had a lovely meal at the lodge.
Oh, what'd you eat?
And then chicken tenders and tater tots, which is what I've gotten the last 4 times I've been up.
I love that.
But
Man.
it's so good. They have this honey mustard, but it's very good. So with a full belly, I was going down on our last run.
Big belly?
Yeah, and I was going down this run that we'd
Big
been
backin'.
on. We'd been down about 5 times at least, and I just got too much speed, and the visibility was so bad. Like earlier, you couldn't see 10 feet in front of you.
Ooh.
It was dumping
Because of the
snow,
fog?
30-mile-per-hour winds.
Oh, yeah.
And so I just didn't see this. I saw the jump. I didn't think it was that big. And I went down, and I thought I was going to landed on my heels, and it's straight ice underneath, and I just whipped back and hit my head.
Oh,
Of
Yeah.
course.
So
That makes me sad.
yeah, it really sucked. And usually after I take a spill, I try to get up real quick so no one sees me on the
Yeah.
ground. But yeah, I had to lay
had to
there for a
take a
minute.
sec.
I was like, oh, damn.
Oh.
I just like felt it, and then I had to hike up and get my ski. Yeah, so obviously I felt pretty hard, but that's fine. I'd
Someone's
fallen.
phone is ringing.
Yeah, it's my husband.
He's back from the shop.
Do I answer it?
Yeah, I'm glad.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, we're recording right now.
Hey, Chris.
Never mind.
Hi,
I
Chris.
thought you were done.
No, sorry, we just started.
It's gonna be a bit.
Oh, does he know if Joel doesn't work?
Huh?
Never mind. I'll let you go.
Oh, okay, love you.
Have a good
Love you.
Bye. Sorry.
What did he say?
I have no
I'm a little
idea.
out of breath.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was just working on his car and, like,
Oh.
you know, taking
Okay.
things apart and putting them back
Did
together.
he say he needed help?
I think he said, is Joel off?
Oh,
He's
that makes
down.
sense. Yeah, he's down
Yeah,
with the
but-
sickness.
Get down with the sickness.
Yeah.
Yes, anyway,
We're gonna
before
let him solve that problem.
he's gonna figure it
You're like,
out.
I don't know what he
He's like,
said.
you know what? I
like-
have his number.
Okay.
I literally have no idea what he's talking about. So anyway, so yes, you were down and you hit hard and you
I hit
stayed
hard.
there.
Yeah. And so, but I continued the run, caught up with my buddy, and he was like, dude, he called me. He was like, dude, you were down for a minute, or you were up there
Did
for a
he
while.
see him? Did he see
No,
you?
he was in front of me.
Who was it?
It was Spencer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Aw.
And he goes fast, but he was waiting for me
Spencer goes
about
fast.
halfway down, and
Oh. It's dad
yeah.
waiting for us when we're little.
yeah. Usually I'm waiting for him because he's hitting these crazy trails. And I'm just like, dude, he's like, I don't know. I don't even know where I was.
I don't know what happened.
It's so sketchy in the dark. He's up there right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, skied down and I was like, dude, yeah, my head hurts. He's like, yeah, hopefully you don't have a concussion. And then, yeah, then we drove down the mountain and actually someone was waving us down on the street with a flashlight. And it turned out to be my other buddy, Tyler. And he freaking crashed his car in the, yeah, his was all right. He got it really scratched up, but this other car behind him, off a ramp into the freaking.
Wait, so he saw that it
Burn.
was you guys?
No, he was just out there because the cops
didn't
were
help?
getting. No, the cops were getting the cars out, and he was just making sure people didn't crash.
Oh, okay.
'Cause there was black
yeah.
ice, and so, yeah.
Wait,
So-
did Spencer drive you guys down?
No, Spencer was in front of me.
You drove down with a concussion?
I did, yeah. And so,
But
and
you
so,
didn't know, I mean.
right? And so, but that's when I figured it out. Is well, number one, walking to the car, I was like, oh man.
Oh,
But I still had like some adrenaline maybe going,
Yeah.
and but then once I was at a stoplight, have you ever focused on something and it keeps getting further and further away?
No.
Oh, well, that's what was happening. It was like I was.
Can't say I
was,
have.
I was almost home. I was on, yeah, just going up Fifth, and
my God.
it was just it kept getting further and further away. I was like, whoa,
That's
dude,
when-
trippy. I
Uh-oh.
was
should
bringing
not be
stuff
driving.
bringing stuff inside, and I was like, whoa. And then I told Dad, and he was like, "You should probably go."
I'm
I was
really
like,
glad
I'm gonna
that.
go.
Yeah.
I'll let you know how it goes, and then yeah,
Wait, so you went by yourself?
I did. I was like,
What?
if I drove down the mountain, I could probably get there. He was going to bed.
He didn't go to the ER with you?
He offered to. He did offer to, and I said, "No, it's fine."
I'd be like,
You
Dad,
went by
I
yourself?
just went down to the clinic.
that
like,
was one of the
we
things
live,
that
like,
Emma and I were
3
most
minutes away.
concerned about
I
this
know
morning.
we were what that was like the one thing that gave me solace was that Daddy went with you.
No,
Oh
but he
no!
did offer. He did offer to, and I said, "No, I'll be fine."
That sounds like you.
That was fine.
I mean, yeah, that it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I
and then-
can't really picture you and Dad walking into the ER together like, all right, bud, let's get you
Yeah.
checked out.
I mean, it would have just been the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, it just gave me time to like chill out. And
Yeah.
They turn off the lights for me and give me a warm blanket.
Wait,
and-
really?
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Oh my gosh.
And then one of my favorite doctors helped me out and
oh,
got
yeah.
a CT scan and
Good.
no bleed or anything. So
Thank
that's why
God.
I was good to go to sleep. And
Okay, good.
but she
Well,
was like,
thank
definitely
God.
concussion, but no bleed, so you're
That's
good.
nice that you knew the doctor too,
Yeah.
since it's like I mean, do you see them when you work?
I do.
You
yeah.
interact with the doctors?
Yeah, this one was not one that I've had many encounters with, but she was very nice.
Oh,
yeah.
good. A warm
Yeah.
blanket.
Yeah, it was very nice.
It reminds me of when you came home from the army over winter break and you were like sitting at the table and
My
Libby was
beanie
giving
on.
you, like a little foot bath or something.
Yeah.
You were sitting there like,
Oh, that's right,
you have a
because your
picture of you all tucked in.
your feet
yeah.
hurt so bad from your boots.
Yeah,
Why?
Oh.
yeah. My feet are never gonna be the same.
They're
That's
next.
what I hear.
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah.
still has issues.
Yeah, that's okay though.
Are your toes better from?
Yeah, they're almost.
trip?
Well, I think this one's gonna fall off soon. Not the toe, the toenail, but
Are your toes better? This one's gonna fall off.
but this one's almost all back to normal.
Okay, good.
They don't hurt at all though, so
Good.
that's good. Yeah, but yeah, that's my topic.
Man.
That's why. I like literally. I was telling Emma like everything took like 10 times the amount of effort to do last night. Like I felt like even braking in my car. I was like, dude, why am I not stopping?
Ah,
But I was fine.
that's so scary. Well, and that's why concussions should be taken so seriously.
Yeah.
Like for
Yeah.
people who just go about their life with
Yeah.
one, they're like, oh, well, I can't do anything about it. Like, but you have to refrain from doing things with
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, unfortunately, no skiing for at least a week. They said.
Oh yeah. I just also have to say like he was wearing the proper gear. He
I
had
was
his
wearing
helmet
a helmet.
on. He
yeah,
like
of
had
course.
everything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so thank goodness, because if you hadn't, I mean, your head could have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I could.
Opened.
Yeah,
Like-
for
Oh
sure.
my
Yeah,
gosh.
could have fractured my skull,
Yeah.
but
Totally. So
yeah,
thank goodness for that.
Basilar skull fracture, but
Yeah.
but the part of the helmet that I did hit, part of my head, is where the ratchet or binding is. So it wasn't even like the most
Yeah.
protected. But I'm always gonna be an advocate for wearing helmets. Like
Please.
it's
Yeah,
so
for real.
dumb to not wear
No,
helmets.
exactly.
If you hit a tree or something, you never
Oh my
know what's
gosh.
gonna happen. Like
No. And I was thinking too, we are very lucky that you are someone who does sports like this, and this is the first thing that's actually happened, because
True.
that's like an injury, because skiing is so like dangerous, and
Yeah.
some of the things that, I mean, like you do sports that, people get hurt from, but this is like the real first thing that,
Yeah.
gotten hurt from,
I've never
really.
broken any bones or anything.
Yeah.
Or been
so
very fortunate.
we're very, knock
Oh,
on wood,
yeah.
we're very fortunate, and
Yeah.
that's why we're all kind of like, Carsey, because
Yeah.
you're just such a you're so good at all your sports that you
Thank
don't
you.
get, not that
He doesn't
skill-
get hurt.
Well, no, but not that skill necessarily means that you don't get
Just
hurt.
smart
but
about it a
Yeah,
little bit, yeah.
exactly. You don't take risks
Yeah.
like a lot of people your age probably
Very
do.
true. No, yeah, I was even talking to Spencer about it on the chairlift. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, dude, I don't like, because he's going through the trees and stuff, and he'll tell me after every run, he's like, dude, that was sketchy, and I'll follow him on some of them.
See?
We like, but you can't even. I mean, it's night skiing. Like we were going down this pretty chill, little trail. I don't even know. It was in the woods, and just out of nowhere, I hear him go, "Oh, watch out!" And then I just go straight down. I'm like, "What?" And then you go right back up like a
Oh
roller
my
coaster.
gosh.
And I fell, and I was like, "Dude!" And he's like, "Dude,
Warned
that
ya.
was sketchy."
Oh my gosh. We all have those friends like that though.
yeah.
Well, and I just think like when I worked in acute rehab, I mean, we had someone come in with both arms and a leg broken, pelvis broken from a ski accident.
That's like
And
Christina's husband.
yeah, exactly.
Full body breakage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like and they were wearing protective gear too, but even then like if you're going down, places that aren't lit or like doesn't have a proper trail, like you could hit a tree and you could break everything too.
Right.
It's crazy.
Even just going down normally, because I think
Dude.
I was behind him at.
Well, one of my first graders told me on Thursday she was like, I'm so tired and I still have to go skiing after school. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're such a trooper.
Yeah.
Her family is like really big into like outdoor things though. And so she came back on Friday and she was like, my ankle kind of hurts today. And I was like, oh, is it from skiing? And she was like, well, no, skiing was fine, but I got hit by a sled when we were like, I think she was playing on like
Oh my gosh.
the sledding part
Yeah.
of the hill after she was done skiing or something. That's what I got at least. It's
Yeah.
really hard to hear a full story with 25 of them in there, but
Yeah.
yeah. So
Fair.
she was like, but she's such a trooper. I was like, well, do you need to go get ice at the office? She's like, no, I just wanted to let you know it hurts. I'm like, thank you.
Just sharing my story.
Yeah, but then I was thinking like, she's 6. She's a little tiny baby. I can't believe that like kids do that all the time.
Hit by a sled.
But also,
Yeah.
and then I was like, well, when I was little, I used to get taken out by snowboarders all the time. I can't believe I'm all right. It was like
Magnet.
multiple times in a row. Dad would be like, oh, did you get taken out? I'd be up there like doing my like long turns because I was so scared of going fast.
I can see it so well.
I'd just be like taken out by some like 25-year-old guy, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Sorry. Like,
yeah, he's like, oh, you
They're just going
alright?
straight and they see Dee Dee.
Yeah.
Right.
you look like a good jump for them. Like,
In my big pink coat.
oh my gosh, yes, you would be in all pink, and then I remember looking back up one time at you, and you were sitting there with like I think you just like needed a break. You were just
Yeah.
done, and so you just kind of sat down, and this guy went right
Yes.
over you.
Yeah, when I was
right
sitting.
over your head.
Yeah.
And you like completely folded in half.
Wait, because I knew he was coming,
No,
so I...
because he went over
Oh, like hit my
you.
helmet?
He just
Oh my
went like forward. And
Oh my God.
I was looking back, just, oh my God.
Maybe I was living with a concussion for the past 15 years.
And he just was kind of yelling, sorry, like as he
God.
goes down. And oh my God,
So
that's
rude.
Oh my
so
god.
How do you let
funny.
like 6-year-olds do this though? It's a very dangerous
Yeah,
sport
no,
for
that's true.
kids.
Well, we used to be, so when we were learning, Dad would have that thing that would
Yeah.
go around like a leash.
Yeah.
I love that was
It was
my
great.
security blanket.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I
though,
was
like
never
that's
far.
how I would do it if I
Yeah.
were taking a child up with me,
Yeah.
like, cause the paranoia
You could lose
I
them.
have,
Like,
like,
never.
Yeah.
it is
That
crazy.
chairlift, I'd be like, you better strap my child in there. They're
We
gonna fall
better get some damn seatbelts up in here,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I want one for me too.
You just have to go up with them every time. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. No, I'm just
bungee cord them in there.
paranoid. Oh, that's a good idea. Just get.
Strap them in. And then
Surprised
when
Dad
you're, like,
didn't do that.
getting off, you're like, hold on.
Yeah, you just put your pole in between them.
Oh yeah, that's what
yeah.
Dad used to do that too.
Yeah.
I like it makes me so nervous.
Yeah.
Fight or flight.
If they fall, I'm jumping down with them. You know,
Yeah.
off the chairlift.
But what if you fell on
I
them
know.
if you jumped after?
I'd wait a second.
You'd wait the appropriate.
Make
Hold on,
sure they're
buddy.
all right first. Like, am I gonna be
Let
okay
me
if I
find a
jump?
good spot real
Yeah.
quick.
How's the powder?
Yeah.
Oh.
Can wait to get off. All right.
Good times.
Now that we've officially gone on like a million tangents,
The story is that we're so glad you're okay.
yeah,
Me too.
you
Yeah.
wore your gear and you know you hit the ice, and I'm just glad you're okay. And
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll give it a week and then we'll hit it again.
there you go, right back on that horse.
Yeah.
Dang, those chicken tenders sound really good from
They're
the lodge,
insane.
though.
Like we should just go up there for dinner one night.
Fun.
Oh, I would totally go up for a clam chowder bowl.
Oh, yeah?
Like
Yeah.
that
Come.
sounds great.
Ah,
The
Do
French
they still have
fries,
bread bowls?
don't do that.
I'm not sure.
That was like the only thing I would get when I was little.
I don't know, but the
Just the fries.
French fries have gone downhill. I will let
Are
you
you
know.
serious?
That's why I've been rocking the tater tots.
Okay, but
Oh.
tater tots.
They're tater tots and they load you up with tater tots. So yeah.
Okay, I can get down
So,
with
I
the
mean, if
tater
you just wanna
tot.
go up after
Tots
this,
with
I'm
honey
down.
mustard.
Yeah, it's so
yeah.
good, so good.
They're not gonna let you in that place though for a whole week.
You're right. Yeah.
They cancel your membership for a week
Yeah.
just in case.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right, so what have we been listening to this week?
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that.
Do you want me to start? Okay, so first and foremost, I need to clarify something because I realized last time when I was sharing my interests, I said that I listen to heavy metal, and I do listen to heavy metal. However, I would like to specify that I listen more often to metalcore rather than heavy metal. And I only clarify this because when I worked at the bistro, there was this kid who was asking me, like, he was a freshman and I had already graduated. I'd come back and, work there. And it was night shift, so all the people there were crazy and weird. And I have stories just about that we could probably go on for forever. But he was asking me what kind of music I listen to. And I was like, oh, yeah, like, I like metal, heavy metal, rock, like, hard rock, all, punk, whatever. And he started, and so he just looked at me and he says, what heavy metal music do you listen to? And I was like,
This is a challenge.
Yeah.
okay. And I was like, well, okay, my favorite artist is Motionless in White. And he's like, that's metalcore. That's not heavy metal.
Sorry.
And I was like, okay. Well,
my
could
God.
you name some
Yeah.
then? Because the look he gave
Obviously, I
me.
don't know my genres then, buddy.
He's like, I've had this conversation.
He's like, that's
one
metalcore.
too many times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
And he
he
goes,
literally asked just to challenge you.
Yeah.
just heavy metal. And he
Yeah.
was like gatekeeping heavy metal. And I'm like, okay,
That's mine.
listen.
Yeah.
Like, well, he would only listen to, I downloaded one of the artists that he listened to. It was his absolute favorite. And I don't remember who it was now,
It was
but.
crappy.
What?
Was it crappy?
No, it was like,
Oh, okay.
it was just death metal music,
Mm-hmm.
no lyrics. That was it.
Ooh.
Oh, that's weird.
Interesting.
And it's not my jam.
Yeah.
I like a song. I like the lyrics that go in the song. I don't mind if there's like, a long intro or like a long solo
Instrumentals
or
and
whatever.
stuff.
But yeah, but like not just listening to the instruments. I mean, and if
a
that's your
little
jam,
bit like-
that's great.
Yeah.
But anyway, so metalcore is the music that I listen to mostly. But I also listen to horrorcore, which is Ice Nine Kills. They are specifically different. So anyway, that's
a very fair clarification because people who protect that genre
Oh.
will.
yes, the gatekeeping is crazy.
Yeah.
So I just, metal, I can just say I listen to metal music. We'll just
There you
go
go.
with that. So, but I've been listening to Poppy's album Negative Spaces. My favorite song that is stuck in my head right now is They're All Around Us. And the other album is Bring Me the Horizons, Post-Human Next Gen. The songs I've been listening to is Lost, NA, and Utopia. And they just hit different. So that's what I've been listening to.
Nice. Very good. Do you want to go ahead?
Oh, okay. I was like sitting here trying to think for a second to prep because it hasn't really changed from last week. I
Fair.
pretty much only listened to SZA and Lotto. I've been mixing in some Ice Spice this week.
Oh.
Because I only listen to music when I'm driving to work or I'm at the gym. Otherwise, I don't really listen to anything because I'm always like trying to record TikTok. So it's like it has to be quiet in the background. So I don't listen to much. So yeah, SZA's album I've been listening to a lot. I've been loving Cry Baby from it, BMF, and Chill Baby. So good. What else? I think that's it. I've been listening to a little bit of Nicki Minaj's, like, what's it called? It's like the deluxe album of Pink Friday 2. And it has like
There's a
Bomb
second
Bomb.
one?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Cowgirl, I love that one. Yeah, lots of that kind of stuff in it. And then I just listen to whatever songs they like promote after I listen to my normal stuff because like I just have a really hard time branching out in music. Like
Felt.
because I obsess with and I love to listen to what I listen to,
Yep.
but I can't branch out. It's really hard because nothing ever
Same.
like quenches the thirst,
Yeah.
or like satisfies what I'm looking for unless it's something that I already know.
It certainly doesn't hit the
It's
same.
so hard, yeah. So, that's it.
I mean, I still listen to like all of the albums from 2005, 2006, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
punk rock that
Exactly,
we grew up
'cause
listening to
it'll-
because
yeah.
it hits the same.
It'll
It,
never attain
it's
that
great.
level of standard that you have now.
Exactly.
It's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's very true. I think with me, I just, I have everyone that I really like to listen to in all my songs, and I just like rotate through them, but
Yeah.
lately I've been listening to a lot of old Snow Patrol, and then I
Classic.
was just saying their newest album is very good too. Newest, it came out like 4 months ago, but
Oh.
I hadn't heard it before.
Very new.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that they were still putting out music.
And it sounds like the same, and it's
Really?
so good.
That's
yeah.
really cute.
And so yeah, Snow Patrol, and then John Mayer, of course. John never goes away from me. And then trying to get back into some country because I took like last year off of country for whatever reason, so I've
You
been
should
rotating
listen
it
to
back in.
Posty's new album. It's very country.
I have the
Yeah?
F1 whatever.
Whatever.
I've listened to some
F1
of it.
State of Mind?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that it? I don't know.
I'm going to see him too, so I need to study up.
Yeah, girl, yeehaw.
Yeah, that's awesome. I listened to a couple songs. Yeah, even his normal music, it's not like hit or miss with me, but
Yeah, it's just not.
I
your
don't
thing.
love everything
That's
from
okay.
him. But I do love most of his songs.
Yeah.
And that album has been on my to listen to list for a while. I just haven't gotten to it. So
Yeah,
but
fair enough.
yeah, that's it for me.
Love
Very
it.
cool.
What kind of country are you trying to get back into? Anyone
Oh,
specific?
No. I've just been adding it to the rotation, like all my favorites, like Luke Combs, Morgan
Getting ready for
Wallen,
summer a
Riley
little bit?
Green. Yeah. Just listening to it because like last summer, whenever we all hang out, we usually have country
yeah.
going, but we really didn't last summer.
No,
so,
it's true. I know.
yeah, I've just been getting back into it a little bit, and it's been good. Yeah.
Love that. It does remind me of summer, so I'm like excited for that a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't listen to country on my own, but I like when we're all in the backyard and it's like going. I'm like, oh, it feels so summery.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it. It's so nice.
Yeah. So yeah, all very different music.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
I don't even know what genre like mine would fit into. Like since you're talking about
R&B,
genre.
Hip
Yeah.
hop.
like hip hop, R&B.
Yeah.
Trap.
I don't think so.
Well, it's
There's
like
definitely some trappy things.
Oh,
on,
really?
Like Doja's album
Yeah.
that I would listen to.
Oh, I don't.
But I also
not
don't
trap
know.
as in like EDM trap.
Oh,
No, it's
okay.
like
Dubstep,
yeah.
but
I don't know how to define it. I just remember someone, maybe it was Anthony, being like, "This is kind of trappy." And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm
for
just a
you.
girl. I don't know. I'm just a girl. Listening to my trap music.
yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Sis, you should do your topic next.
Perfect.
Okay, well, so should I tell my funny story
Oh, yeah.
before or after? Before?
How depressing is your topic? 1 to 10.
I don't know. I mean, it's more of me going on a rant more than anything. This is me hopping on my soapbox.
Whatever feels right.
Yeah, do what feels good to you. I have no preference.
I think we may need a laugh after this, so I'm gonna save it.
Okay. I love the honesty. It's not depressing, but we might need a laugh after it.
I mean, I don't know. We'll just see how it goes.
No,
So, but I would like to start with a question.
Okay.
As people who don't consume true crime on a regular basis like I do, what cases immediately come to mind if I were to ask you what true crime cases do you know? Like what would the first one be? Or like who would the first killer
Ted
be?
Bundy.
Okay.
I don't even know. I have heard of, I'd say quite a few, but none that I can name right now.
Nothing you could
Obviously,
name?
like Ted Bundy and stuff like that, but
Okay.
I don't know about a specific case.
Yeah, I really
Well, that's
don't.
kind of what I mean. Those like who like are there any serial killers
Oh.
that come to mind?
I'm
like
someone who tries to avoid that genre, so I feel like I have
Right.
less of a knowledge base than.
Who's that like killer clown guy?
oh, John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking of last week when you were talking about John.
John Benet Ramsey.
Benet.
Oh,
You were
wow,
thinking of
yeah.
John Wayne Gacy.
Because I just don't know. I mean,
Oh.
the Johns. I thought it. So that's why I thought it was a man.
Yeah.
that we were talking about.
Okay. I mean, okay.
I didn't realize that till just now, by the way. So.
It's just
Not
so such different.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm.
that I could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, interesting that you should say that. Because today
Oh, I know what we're
I'm
talking
going to be
about.
talking about my personal pet peeve in the true crime community.
Oh, yeah.
And I would like to preface this conversation before I go into it by just saying, you know, I've always been interested in the darker side of humanity. I am fascinated by the what and the how and the why of true crime. why we do the things we do, the forensic psychology that creates a profile, you know, and the mystery that needs to be solved, and bringing justice to those who have brought so much pain and hurt to others. And that's always been interesting to me, and there is nothing wrong with that. However, in my exploration into the depravity of humankind, clasps hands.
Buckle up.
In my exploration into the depravity of humankind, I've listened to hundreds, if not thousands, of podcasts. I've seen true crime documentary after true crime documentary, read journals and peer-reviewed papers. I've done my own research to find the reason why people do terrible things, right? And these are all peer-reviewed, all like empirical evidence. It is... Anyway.
What does empirical mean?
Well, that's something that we used to say when we were doing APA research.
Okay.
So I think it's just like, it's like a first-hand source, right? Like empirical evidence, like the first-hand,
Okay.
like...
Not that is super relevant. I just was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is, and I mean, you know, people will correct me if I'm incorrect, but my understanding is, and reminder that I graduated like 7 years ago from college, so just take it easy on me.
gosh, and college doesn't
I'll try.
mean that you know what empirical means. Because I didn't learn that in college.
I didn't.
I mean, should I just look it up?
Sure.
It doesn't matter. I shouldn't have even
That
asked.
sounds so.
It just relates to the validity of the source, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. I couldn't find the words for that. My brain's not working.
Empirical evidence is information acquired by observation or experimentation.
Yikes.
So
So we're
information
right.
gathered through observation or experimentation that can be used to support or refute a hypothesis. I think this is...
source.
Well, I think... Okay.
So.
So maybe I should take this out because it's part of the scientific method.
Sorry, Carson. I'm gonna take this
So I was wrong. We'll just say
oh my gosh.
I've done a lot of research
You
and...
don't have to include any of that also. I don't know why I had to ask about that. I just was like,
Yeah!
I'm
Why
so sorry.
No, it's
It was
good.
just like-
Because now I don't look like an idiot. Well, I do, but... Oh, also, I brushed my teeth today.
Heck yeah.
Whoa.
So,
Proud of you.
it's a
On
weekend.
Saturday?
Yeah. Anyway, I just had to
Did you
redeem
put
myself.
on your bug spray?
So, no, but you know what I was looking up last night? Speaking of bug spray. I was looking up citronella essential oil last night, oddly enough. Don't ask me why.
I love how you say it like you're confused about why you did it. Like, for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know
Why
where
did
my
you?
brain... I don't know.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I was thinking... Okay, do we want to go down the ADHD rabbit hole that I've created? Okay,
this whole podcast?
so I was thinking about my supervisor, and she has this, like, peppermint oil spray or, like, something that she uses, and it just smells amazing. And so I was like, I should really get myself some peppermint oil. And then I was like, but it needs to be, like, good peppermint oil, because otherwise it just... You know, I like the real stuff. So anyway, I was looking at Now Organics or like Now that brand of essential oils, and then I saw citronella, and I thought, oh hey, that could be good for summer if it actually works. So then I started looking into it, and it's like some people say it works, some people say it doesn't. So that's where my brain went,
Interesting.
and that's how I ended up there. But no, I did not put my bug spray on today. I did put my sunscreen on though. So, back to my rant. So, empirical evidence is not what I have been researching, but, you know, I've done lots of research for myself, and I think I have a good idea of, you know, what's out there and what people have been consuming. And while we may not ever be able to, you know, create a concrete equation to solve, can I help you?
It's the concussion. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Was it
Random
because
outbursts of laughter.
was it because I said concrete? Okay.
Sorry, I do feel loopy, but
While we may never have a concrete equation to solve the mysteries of the horrors of humanity, I've always found it interesting to try. But that being said, my entire point in prefacing all of this is the sinking feeling that I get when I listen to a true crime podcast or a documentary that glorifies a murderer.
Yeah.
It is that sinking feeling, and it just never ceases to amaze me.
Sorry, you should continue. I have questions already, but continue.
Okay, well, let me just get a little bit further, because I might answer some of them. So it happens, and it is just, it amazes me every time. And there's a difference between fascination and falsely praising someone, a killer. I mean, one of the serial killers I hate maybe more than anyone else, and maybe it's just because he is so saturated, especially here in Washington, is Ted Bundy. So the fact that he was the first one that came to mind, I was like, oh yeah, checks out, because one, we live in Washington,
I think so, yeah.
we're close to Seattle, like it's just, I mean, you hear about it growing up, you hear about the fears, but what's the other thing that you hear about?
How beautiful he is, or he was.
Yeah.
How attractive and kind and like charming he was.
So I hate this guy, right? And that should seem obvious because he's a
But
killer.
it's deeper than that.
He was vicious. He was manipulative, and he killed so many people.
Yeah.
And I cannot tell you how many times I have heard documentarians or podcasters say how attractive this man was. Now, it is a ridiculous amount, but here's the thing. What really made me aware of this whole phenomenon of like glorifying a killer is I listened to this podcast for the first time. It was like their first episode.
I'm so sorry. Do you hear her?
Oh, I hear the nibbling.
It's okay.
I think you may need to
Cute.
I'm
put
so
the
sorry.
microphone up, ASMR.
Oh.
We were getting her medicine today. So sorry. I do not mean to. This is like so random, but Anthony was like, it would cost like $67 for one of her It's one of 3 that she needs regularly.
Oh, girlfriend is expensive.
She's an expensive lady, and Anthony was like, she's not putting enough hours into that nibbling of hers, because this is her contribution.
Oh, she's just paying the medical bills.
I can't get it.
That's
I'm
okay.
so sorry. Continue.
No, it's
it was
okay.
very loud in my ear for a second.
It definitely was, because I'm sure you saw me looking. I was
saw
just staring
Carson.
straight
I
at
was
her. She's so cute. So, anyway, I was listening to this podcast for the first time. I think it's like their first episode, and I have a problem with their name in general, but I'm not going to say it just because they are huge, and I know I would get backlash for saying anything about it.
Yeah.
But they literally said Ted Bundy is so hot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, like
Listen. He used his charm and he used his appearance to disarm women.
Yeah,
absolutely. And
manipulation.
that's just a fact. But can we stop saying that he is hot, that he is attractive? He is a violent murderer.
complimenting or noticing that about somebody who you don't even like. It's like humanizing like something that shouldn't even be like it's not a human characteristic to like, I mean, I guess to murderers it is to like, do that to other human beings, but it's like bringing too much like, I don't know.
He just doesn't deserve it.
No, exactly.
He doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
I don't even like saying his name. I considered saying TB because he's a freaking disease. But I
can't believe that these people who do talk about him in that form are like...
He was so hot. No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
No, he
That
wasn't.
shouldn't be allowed to talk... You shouldn't be allowed to talk about, serial killers like that, because it's like no one... The feeling that people should get from him and do get from him is like ick and disgust.
Yeah,
you don't get to like feel like that way about him. It just doesn't seem
That is a
right.
good point because, that is saying like oh, you like something about this guy who did all these terrible things. I think the only thing that I have not listened to nearly as many podcasts or things about him as you have, but I think the only thing I somewhat understand about what they're saying is like just adding to how he was able to do all the terrible things he did was just by utilizing his charm and stuff.
Absolutely.
But
he did.
Yeah,
like,
he totally did.
He used his looks and his charm to manipulate, and that's I mean that's fact.
Yeah. But yeah, just going that far, it's just like, all right, bro. Like, that's too much. Like, even if you think that, like, it's just weird to say that about someone who did all these things. Like, especially like, I don't know. Yeah, it's just weird, you know.
Absolutely. Hot men don't kill people.
Yeah.
Right.
True,
Yeah. What are your
That's a
like? Yeah. What are your thoughts on like when people say that? Like, and it sounds like they do this for more than him. You know, they say that about people or like glorify certain people. What are your immediate thoughts on that? Or like, how do you pick up on it and be like, okay, that is not okay?
Now mom's calling me.
Oh, you should answer it.
Well, now I need. Hold on.
I wonder if she called me too, but mine's recording.
Sorry. Let me just see what she says.
Stop the recording.
Probably not. It just ignores calls.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry. I just realized you guys were doing your podcast.
That's okay.
Hi,
You've
Mom.
made it onto the show.
Oh, hi.
Oh, with her.
With her
no
poor voice. Do you mind if I call you back after?
No, no, don't worry. Yeah, call me back.
Is she
Okay. Are you okay though?
Okay. Oh yeah, fine.
Okay. All right. Love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Love
Bye.
Bye.
Her poor voice.
I know, of course, when her voice is gone, she's been so sick. But okay, well, so let me in that question. I think I'll answer that question when I get to my next little
Point.
passage here. Yeah. So the last thing I do want to say about TB is that he does not deserve the breath it takes to say his name. He doesn't deserve to be glorified as this beautiful human who, you know, I mean, he had a whole fan club.
Yeah.
He had women who would come to the courthouse begging for him to be released.
Yeah.
And that's an entirely different conversation on its own.
Right.
That's like a separate topic I would love to cover is just, you know, why do people fall in love with these awful, terrible murderers? And it's fascinating. But, you know, that is different than glorifying them, right? And it's a different type of glorifying them. So just last thing I want to say is please look up his victims, know that they're real people with real lives and real families, and they are not just another story. But that is my next point is we are so desensitized as a culture that we're not faced by true crime, quote unquote, stories anymore. And these cases are not stories. And when you have a morbid fascination in true crime, I think it's your responsibility to understand that these are real people. These are real stories that, you know, sometimes justice is served, sometimes it's not, and we need to fight to correct that. But that's a systemic problem. Anyway.
And it's not just entertainment.
No, exactly. And while I find it fascinating and interesting, obviously I have fallen into that trap as well of like, oh, well, that's not that bad. It was just a shooting. Are you kidding? That is a horrible thing to think. But I think we need to check ourselves.
People are trained in, you know, I'm so sorry. I keep interrupting with not complete thoughts. Continue. Just keep going.
Well, I think
I need to
if
stop.
I may.
Yeah, go for it.
I think it's tough when you hear like these terrible stories and then you hear one, like you say, you start comparing them and you're like, oh, this guy didn't even go through all this that this guy went through. And it's like, bro, you don't even know, you know, like it's tough.
Yeah.
It's so true. And, you know, I think we start seeing them, we remove ourselves so far from the scenario, the situation, that we see them almost as a thriller, like a horror movie, or, you know, which are also fascinating and interesting to watch, and I really enjoy it. But I think it's easier to digest as a consumer of this type of, I don't know, in this genre, at least, it's easier to digest when you dull it down into something less than. But what you're doing is erasing a trauma that a community still feels, like, to this day, right? I mean, and like I said, there's nothing wrong with morbid curiosity and wanting to know more about the topics. I just think that's something we can do to combat these issues is to be victim focused, tell factual stories with information found from reputable sources, and to be mindful that you never know who could be listening and impacted by the stories we tell.
Yes.
True.
And I think, to me specifically, I think it directly to Heather Bish. She is the sister of deceased Molly Bish. She was murdered, and she listens to every podcast, every documentary, no matter how small. She could be listening to this. And do you know why?
Because she wants to make sure that they get the facts right. And
Well, she wants to protect her little sister.
but like, oh, that could make me cry.
But this is why it's important, because
Yeah.
there are families out there who listen to every story. I'm sorry.
No,
Here I
it's
am making you cry again.
No, I'm not crying.
Okay. Pan to her crying. So anyway, she is just and I think the other reason is she is trying to find who did this to her sister. We don't know. It has been over 30 years, and it is just, you know, that's why I'm so bothered by the glorification of murderers and the personal removal that happens when we listen to these cases. Like I said, I've been guilty of it too, but I've had to step back and really think about the why am I listening? Why? Oh, hold on, I lost my point here.
As far as I know, you're just speaking straight from the heart.
Anyway, why am I listening to this? What does this do for me? And I think we all need to do that as responsible and kind consumers of true crime. That's all I have to say.
And you're a very responsible
Yeah, you are.
consumer of crime, like, for
Well,
even having this.
And I haven't always been, because I've been desensitized as well, but I think we have to recognize that and be like, hey, that's messed up, right? Like, that is not right to start comparing these things when it's all bad. It's awful. And we have to look at these people like human beings, because that's what they are. And glorifying them, or even making a comment like, oh, he's so hot. It's like, no, stick with the facts. Yes, sure, he was disarming and attractive.
Like a conventionally attractive person, but don't give
That's
any of your emotion to the case that he caused.
Yeah, I think I often, I don't listen to true crime per se, but I listen to scary story podcasts at the gym and stuff, and even like I find myself just like listening to it. Like, I mean, I think half of those might be made up or exaggerated,
like creepypasta,
but there are some like true cases that slip into them. I'd say like every 1 out of 4 or 5, and I always just try to empathize with them and kind of put myself in their shoes, but also like going back to TB, I think when you do bring up how people think about how he looked, like it just, like you said, it takes away everything from that case and just the validity of it and everything. It's just
it's true.
It just ruins it, when you talk about him like that. But
I turned that podcast off as soon as I heard that, because that was at that point in my true crime consumption that I had already done that reflection of, why am I not finding this more disturbing? Why am I thinking that this is somehow less than other cases when it's certainly not? And so I had already been through that reflection, and I was just like, this is wrong. And I just turned it off, and I never listened to them again. And I hear people talk about them in high praise all the time.
It's very irresponsible of them to even put that kind of stuff on the internet, and realize that, like you said earlier, you never know who's listening.
and people could already be so desensitized that could just be like, you know, it really takes away the validity and the reason that people should be telling these stories. Like, whatever reason there is, that's not it. Like,
true.
it's just like, yeah. And it reminds me that this morning when I was at the salon, I was eavesdropping on people talking. It was busy in there, like, and I was sitting there waiting for my color to develop, and I can't even remember who was in there talking about this. Not that I would say anyway, but it just like, I was just listening to these two ladies talking about how one of them was watching some kind of like documentary. I don't know the context at all, but she was saying, like, she was telling the salon lady that she was like, oh, I was watching this thing and I started to feel bad for this guy. And I don't know what the context was, but I was just thinking, I don't want to know what that is. And I immediately like go into like, why are you like feeling bad for somebody when you obviously are painting it as like it's wrong to feel bad for this person?
Oh, gotcha.
It was just interesting. I was like, I don't know what the context was, but I'm like, whoever's portraying this person probably isn't doing a very good job if you're feeling bad for whoever is probably like the cause of, you know, a bad situation that you're watching.
I will say, just to be devil's advocate here, I listen to Morbid, Ash and Elena. I love you so very much. You will never hear this, but I love you so much. And something that they always say is, you can feel bad for the kid, but you can't feel bad for the adult and, you know, what they've continued to
that's a good point.
Pursue in their adult life.
Child affected by trauma.
Yes, exactly.
That's
Childhood trauma. There are so many people who go through that. You can feel bad for that child, absolutely, but you have to hold it in a separate hand and think, this adult made these adult choices, and these are the consequences, right? So that's the only thing I have to say. Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
So
that's a really good thing to say. But also, going off of that, my takeaway from all of this is that, like, empathy is a learned trait. Like, we learn empathy, and it's something that I'm teaching my kids because, I mean, it's part of our Character Strong curriculum. Love Character Strong. But you teach empathy. People aren't supposedly, like, born with it, so we have to keep retraining ourselves all the time. Like, if you catch yourself listening to something like that and not feeling empathy, then that's a good reason to check yourself and be like, okay, I gotta boost up my empathy skills, because like it is learned. It's a learned characteristic.
just taking a minute and reflecting, and you know, I've had to take breaks from the true crime world.
That's very responsible.
Well, it's not me being like, oh, I'm a hero, I take breaks, I reflect. I think it's just, it's, for me, when it starts to concern me that I'm not feeling a type of way, I think I have to be like, hey, hold on, maybe we need to take a minute. Or, you know, when there's so much going on in the world and, you know, just sometimes you just need to take a break from things, right? And you can come back to it. It's still going to be there. But, so like I've been listening to Beach Too Sandy, Water Too Wet a lot lately because
With more humor.
Yeah, it's an uplifting, like it's funny and, you know, or Passages, season 3 with Robbie and Amanda.
I've been meaning to listen to that episode you sent me. I was going to at the gym, but then I was like, I don't want to be the nerd, like, giggling to myself in the gym, because I do that when I listen to those podcasts.
Because I laugh so hard. Robbie and Amanda, again, you'll never hear this, but God, I love you! So
they'll hear it. Have confidence. They'll hear it.
Okay, they'll hear it. Robbie and Amanda, I love you so much.
You gotta gaslight yourself into making this work.
Right.
Gaslight's a bad term. I'm so sorry.
Terrible thing to say.
It's because of the TikTok trends I've been watching.
No, it's okay. I get what you mean.
But yeah.
It is, yes.
Manifest.
Yes. So anyway, just checking in, take care of yourself, and be mindful.
That's a really good message. Yeah.
Your turn.
Nice. Well, going off of that, my topic is not extremely interesting. Sorry, Carson.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
You should say what you were going to say.
I was just going to ask him if she wanted to tell her story now or after.
Oh, I can wait.
Okay,
Wait, let's
perfect.
take, I've talked a lot. Let's take a minute.
Let's do it.
Okay, well, before I start, I feel like I've been so annoying and I'm really sorry. Like, interrupting a lot.
What's wrong with you? No.
I just
That's
feel
the
really.
podcast.
I have my period right now and I'm a little bit emotional.
That's
and,
why we have
That's okay.
and I'm
microphones.
trying not to, I'm
Yeah,
trying not
yeah.
to interrupt. I'm trying to, like, control myself. But when I have had caffeine and I'm on my period and I just have, like, lots of thoughts and feelings right now. So I'm very sorry.
Say you're on your
for,
period again.
I know. I'm sorry. Sometimes I just feel it like affecting my whole life more times than other
That's
times.
okay.
Nope,
You know,
I
and
feel
this
it.
is one of those
It's all
times.
good. You're fine.
Yeah, we can interrupt as much as you want.
Thank
Yes.
you.
It's
I'm
okay.
trying to control myself, but I'm like,
Don't.
I'm
I want to hear
hyped up,
everything
too.
you have to say.
Yeah, me too. Say it.
but I feel like you're really
Out loud.
You've just been really good at phasing your
Say it.
thoughts and stuff, and like with in between each point that you make, you give us time to react, and I'm sitting here
Yeah.
like trying to
having heart
stop myself
palpitations.
from interrupting you. I'm trying to be self-disciplined, and you're really
Don't
good
do
at it. But not that I have interesting takes. But,
Do you want to know why?
Why?
It's because I typed out everything I was gonna say.
Oh, that's good.
That, like, and I put like
And I didn't.
like I put spaces between paragraphs because I know myself and I
Yeah.
have to have it all typed out or else
That's
it'll
really
just
cool. Yeah.
So, you know.
No, that's cool. And mine's like literal screenshots of what I want to talk about because I just found this out. And
I wish I was like that.
We were when I was at Costco earlier. This was after my second coffee again, and I was walking with Anthony, and I was like, I saw this product that I'm going to talk about advertised, and I was like, let me tell you about this. Like, this is what I'm talking about on the podcast. Look, honey. Oh my gosh, I'm sweating.
Again?
Okay, but no, my topic is that lash serum is really bad for you, apparently.
Oh, no.
Supposedly.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
But it's just interesting because it's like I've been using it for years. And
Good.
lash, where do I start? I'm like, I know how to talk about this, but I actually don't.
Well, what is
Okay.
lash serum?
Lash serum is like, a serum that you apply on your lash line for eyelash growth. And there's lots of different brands out there. There's Babe Lash. That's the one that I love. It's worked the best for me. Now I know why. It's worked the best. And I'm not saying that I'm going to stop using it with all these facts that I'm going to bring. They're not convincing enough.
It's just like the
unfortunately.
candles.
It's
Yeah,
like the
yeah, yeah.
candles. I understand. I hear it. I'm not that concerned by it, unfortunately.
Call back from
But,
last week.
Yeah. Babe Lash, Rodan and Fields. That one's huge. That one
Yes.
costs like $150. But I have used it because it grew my lashes right after I had lash extensions. And so I used it. And then like Babe. Oh no, I already said Babe. There's another Grande Lashes. That one's popular too. And they're on TikTok Shop. They're like all over the internet and people use them and have been using them for a very long time to grow their lashes. But this girl who's like really well known on TikTok, I guess, for talking about, like shocking beauty facts. She was talking about how lash serum is really bad for you apparently, and I saw this and I was like, hold on. I like actually had to stop and watch the whole video because I like live and breathe by my lash serum.
Oh,
and
you
I
sure
talk
do.
about my lashes a lot on TikTok because I've worked really hard on growing them and I've been very patient with my eyelashes.
And people always leave comments about your lashes. Like they are so
My
impressed by your
girlies.
lashes,
It's
which
just
they should
very
be.
kind, but now it's like, oh my gosh, I feel like I've been poisoning myself for years, and now I'm the advocate of it.
Whoops.
But I'm not alone though, because a lot of people don't know about this. But apparently, there is this chemical in it called prostaglandin.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
Oh yeah.
They use it for glaucoma.
Yeah.
Okay, so lash serums were like supposedly discovered, and this was taken off of Google with very little research, so this might not
Fabulous.
even be super real.
Oh,
But
well.
what I gathered from this is that apparently people were doing like testing for this new glaucoma medication, and one of the chemicals in it was prostaglandin.
Okay.
And while they were testing that, they realized that the participants of the study had grown their eyelashes like crazy because of that, chemical.
No
And so then they started
way.
putting it in lash serums, or, however that led to lash serums. Prostaglandin is a big part of them, but that causes orbital fat loss, which is something that is a side effect of glaucoma medication, and it makes your eyes look more sunken in over time.
Wow.
It's in lash serums, and this girl on TikTok was telling us about it, and I was like, well, first of all, I don't want that, but second of all, maybe I'll take it if my lashes can be pretty. But I just was like,
Priorities.
I was shocked. I mean, it's not. It also, is caused by other things too. So it's not like that's the only thing that causes
Right.
sunken in eyes. Did you see how she lifted that up?
Yes.
But yeah, so that was my big discovery, is that prostaglandin, which is like a big chemical in these lash serums, causes sunken in eyes over time. So, and it does mean that I'm not going to purchase more bottles of Babe Lash. I'm not going to buy more, but I just got 2 for Christmas, so I'm going to use them.
It would be wasteful if you
I'm
didn't.
just going to spread them out a little bit more, but it has been
Ma'am.
consuming a lot of my thoughts. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Prostaglandins, we learned about it in some of my medical training. I should know more about it, but I forgot about it. But it is a hormone-like substance.
Okay, that's not good.
And I mean, just from a quick Google,
Quick googs.
yeah. Oh, now I have to verify I'm not a robot. Anyway, it can, there can be some negative side effects.
Yeah.
But, I mean, kind of like what we talked about last week, there's so many bad things in like our food and the air even around us. Like,
Yeah. It's like just another one of those
yeah, I
things
don't know
that-
how much worse it can get, But,
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
another
that's true.
serum gonna do?
yeah, but
I
it's
know.
good to know now that
It
you know
is.
that, like-
Yeah, now I'm gonna go in more mindfully about it.
Mhm.
Like I've been putting it on less.
Yeah.
I still put it on,
Mhm.
but it's been less.
Yeah, like, I know
And-
what you're doing to me, but
Yeah, I know. Like beauty is pain.
yeah.
What the hell?
But
Oh, it's time to stand.
Oh,
oh my gosh,
should we all stand up?
and walk around for 10
No,
minutes.
it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, but that was pretty much my topic, was just that I've
That's
discovered
interesting.
that, and
Yeah.
there are alternatives to lash serums like castor oil
I was gonna
and
say,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
that I'll probably switch to, but I just thought it was interesting because I didn't know that there were any like negative side effects besides
Yeah.
people saying that it causes like reddening around your eyes, but my eyes have always been kind of red from
Allergies.
allergies.
Yeah.
That I'm like
Living.
not too
Yeah.
concerned. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I wonder if there's any damage to the eye that could occur from.
Oh, it did
overuse.
say it could slightly alter the color of your eyes over time
Oh,
too.
well, that
Like-
might be cool.
Glaucoma. I know. I was like, is that a negative side
Yeah.
effect though?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
It's a side effect, but I don't know if it's a bad one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always just been told never to put anything on your eyes or near your eyes, just
Yeah.
in general, unless it's
Right.
like a fragrance-free moisturizer. That's
Yeah.
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 Or like eye drops, but even those aren't great for your eyes either. So,
Yeah.
They're pretty sensitive.
yeah, I mean, I also just have to say that my brain keeps going back to orbital, and that's like I just love that word
It's
for eyes,
beautiful.
our orbital
Oh,
sockets,
yeah.
you know?
Ew.
I love
I hate
it.
the word socket.
Yeah.
Isn't that ick?
I mean,
Socket.
Well, I mean, I've always heard like the word orbital used in like a autopsy type of scenario.
Oh.
So,
I think of like a planet.
orbital fleet.
oh,
That's
sure.
what I think of. That would be kind of cool. Just like having a word that.
Yeah. Like, what do we think of?
Yeah. What's the first thing that comes to mind when I say
Dead bodies.
General.
Yeah.
How about you, sister?
Oh. Well,
General.
made me think of General Grant.
Yes, that's what I was going for.
What is General Grant?
Doing on the thermostat.
Yeah, that's
Gosh.
very us core.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
one of my favorite quotes of all time.
Same.
It
It,
is. Just the way
never
he
gets
says
old.
It, is
It
like,
never gets old. Well, I think we're the only ones that
it's
think
just a
that.
scratch in my brain.
Yeah.
Because the enunciation that Steve
General
Zahn
Grant.
has,
Yeah.
when he watches this, He's gonna love that we're talking.
Yeah.
We love you.
He's gonna
Love
watch
you,
and be like,
Susan.
what are they talking about?
Yeah. I
Like,
know.
oh, I forgot I did that movie.
Yeah. That was just for funsies.
Yeah.
It's just for fun.
I still want to get a little figurine of General Grant and put it on my thermostat.
Yeah, for real. I
Be the
think we
coolest
all
thing
should
ever.
for
my God.
Christmas.
We were looking at it when we lived in the condo.
Yeah. Oh
It was
my
like
gosh, I
50
remember
bucks.
that. They're expensive.
For General
It's a
Grant?
figurine.
He turned into, I mean, he didn't turn into, he was the president. Ulysses S.
Yes.
Grant. Yeah.
Yeah, but $50?
Yeah.
My man's dead.
It's a
I
piece
could
of
get a little
history right
army
there.
guy and paint
Is
them
it?
to look
Yeah.
like General Grant.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I don't know.
DIY General Grant.
Make a
New
TikTok about it.
Yeah. I start selling them on Etsy.
TM. No one take that idea. Sorry, that was a copy off Christine, and that's why we drink. I have people are gonna
Gosh,
call
dang, we're gonna
that.
get sued.
Sorry, I just inherit the characteristics of my podcasters, and then it just becomes
your
part of
friends.
me. They are my friends. Christine, you're my friend.
Right. I was
Great
gonna tell
story.
you that reminded me when we were talking about orbital stuff.
Uh-huh.
It
Oh,
reminded me
yes.
of what happened to one of my kids on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Friday. Was that yesterday? Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, it was.
yeah.
It was like years
It
ago.
does feel like a long time ago. My poor little sweet kiddo who just recently had to get stitches on her face because
No.
she I don't know, I don't remember what happened, but she's one of those kids that like always gets hurt. Like she always gets the sickness, she always gets hurt, and it's like completely not her fault. She's just always down for some reason.
Aw.
Poor sweet angel. She wears the biggest hair bows and is like the most girly girl, and I love her. She's amazing. But
It was like you with your white pants and grass stains.
yeah, oh,
you
yeah, of
always
course.
had
It's
them.
just- we're just girls.
You just had to roll down the hill and be a
of
puppy
course.
dog on your
Uh-huh.
knees.
Yep.
Yes.
But yeah, so she yesterday when we were at the carpet, she's also, might I add, very dramatic. So I never know if like things are legitimately bothering her or if it's like, you know, we just need a hug and we just need a little stuffy because we like stuffies and
Yes, ma'am.
our injury hurts so bad that we need a stuffy to help it feel better.
I mean, that's what I do.
Right? So yesterday when we were doing math at the carpet, I have them use their dry erase like math packets and they hold them up so I can see if they're getting it. And we were doing that yesterday and the sweet little like perfect girl next to her who never does anything to hurt anyone or like do anything to stand out for any reason. She's very quiet, very shy. She held up her notebook and it hit this girl right in the eye. And I was like, she was like, oh, and I was like, I was like, she's probably okay. She's probably just like, you know, a little bit dramatic about it. So I'm like, okay, go rest your head. Like, I'm so sorry. I comforted her, of course. I was like, I'm so sorry, poor baby. Like, not really,
of course,
not over the top. But I was like, let's go rest at your desk. And so she did. Then a couple minutes later, she comes up to me and she's like, Mrs. Page. And like, literally, she like opens her eye and her eye is like rolled back in her head a little bit. What? I don't know. I'm pretty sure she was making it do that a little bit, like kind of like
Rolled it back into her orbital socket.
no, but like she wasn't opening her eye because it was like either bothering her or maybe she just was being a little bit dramatic, but she was refusing to let me see her full eye. So I was like, okay, why don't you go to the office? And then she got sent home because the office was concerned about her eye too, which right above the fresh like stitch
Stitches.
mark,
No.
she had this eye that got hit and made her eye like, I don't know if it was actually something that she could make her eye do or if it was badly injured enough.
Well,
that
was
it
the
made
other
her,
eye
like,
rolling back?
No.
So I
hard to
would
do,
feel like,
though.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean that's true. I don't know.
because
Yeah,
I can only do both eyes.
I
Can't do
know,
one.
yeah, I don't know. She like was kind of refusing to let it open all the way too, though. So it was really hard to tell. But I was like talking with the office lady after, and she was like, "Her eye did not seem normal," and I was like, "No, I didn't feel like it seemed normal either, but I just couldn't really tell." So
Yeah.
Mrs.
she went
Page
home.
is like rolling around.
I know.
You're
Yeah.
fine.
Well, I guess we'll see on Monday.
I know. I'm like, I told her call me if you hear anything, because that's very interesting.
Yeah.
She said her mom didn't seem that concerned when she came in, luckily, but it was just like, you
You're
just
all right.
never know.
The
You never
pats
know.
her on the back of the head a couple times.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
It's better. Yeah, it reminded me of that. Good times in first grade.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Always
my
a good story.
Yeah, and the kid who hit her felt so bad. Like, she's one of those kids who doesn't want to even be seen. So it was obviously an accident, but it was ironic.
She was excited.
Yeah, she really wanted to show me her work, and she got it right, of course. But
Oh, sweet
it's
baby.
ironic because my principal just had eye surgery on Monday, and he has a patch on because he's recovering. So he also wore a pirate hat to just play into the bit because the kid
Now
was
that
awesome.
is
Yeah.
an
Isn't that
elementary
smart?
principal.
Yeah. And so, she might come back with a matching patch. We'll see.
Good for her.
2 pirates in the school.
Yeah.
Oh, she'll need an honorary pirate hat too.
I know.
Maybe a
Oh
little
my
parrot
gosh.
stuffy.
So we'll see. Next week I'll
Yeah.
update everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
But,
Keep
you
us
know.
posted.
Yeah. Kind of feel like I'm going to pass out.
Me too.
Oh, okay. Well, on that note, thanks for tuning in to another episode. We're grateful you decided to give our podcast a chance, and we'll be bringing you another episode next week. Let us know what you think of the podcast and share with your friends.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.